Welcome everyone to another episode of Who is Kyle Graham podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Kyle Graham. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode. Now, normally, I come with an intro and applause or whatever, but for some reason, I have a little bit of technical difficulties with the audio, so I figure what the hell, once the camera's working, my voice is working, I can just pop right on and we can start the show. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, before we get started, if you're watching or listening on any of these platforms, remember to press the subscribe button to get notifications for any upcoming episodes or any bonus shows. So if you're watching, let's say on YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, or whoiskylegraham.riverside.com, press the subscribe button to get notifications for bonus episodes and new episodes each week of Who is Kyle Graham podcast. So, without further ado, let's start. Now, like I said last week, and I might be doing this going forward, usually I just start off with a topic that's been on my mind. You know, we family, we like to discuss things and like to, run things past you. And for it being Mother's Day, of course, and I like to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day out there. I'm recording on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, aunties, guardians, and some fathers who play in the mother's role. Appreciate you and enjoy your day. Next month is Father's Day, and I do my yearly Father's Day rant. And you'll know when you hear it. So look out for next month in June, my Father's Day rant. It won't be on Father's Day because I won't be doing it, but the Sunday before Father's Day, you'll hear my rant. Anywho, for Mother's Day, I know a lot of people will be taking pictures and with family members and moms and so forth. And I was thinking, because this week, being on social media, looking at stuff on TV, I noticed that nowadays, it's more women than men. When it's a celebratory type situation, they have their tongues out. Like, and I'm in this, don't understand it. Hence, the name of this episode is Tongues Out, Ratchet or Not. And I've been seeing it online. I've seen someone, I was watching something, and someone accepted an award, and in front of people and young people and all that, and instead of going up and just shaking hands and smiling, they going up wagging their tongue. And I'm like, that's not sexy. It's not sexy at all. There's nothing appealing about it. And for me, your value just went down a whole lot with the tongue just wagging like that. Like, it's just, I don't understand it. I see it. I don't get it. And I don't understand. So the question is, ratchet or not? Well, if you ask me, this shit is ratchet as hell. You might think it's different. Those who watching it, who stick out their tongue like, nay. It's just, I don't know what's in your mind. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know why you think it's sexy. I don't even think it's cute, but there's nothing cute about that. It's just, to me, it's like, ew, no, I don't care what race, color, creed. It's just, no, it's a nay for the kid. It's like, no. And I understand. I'm like, why are you coming out with your tongue? I've seen celebrities get awards and they're winning. And I'm like, why are you wagging your tongue out like a dog? Like, you can just go up and smile. I'm like, thank you, and whatever, you got to bounce with the... Like, I've seen it all. And it was on my mind. And I'm like, is it ratchet or not? Now, put in the comments if you think or not. Whatever platform you want to put in the comments. Or email me at whoiskylegraham at gmail.com. Whoiskylegraham at gmail.com. Let me know if it's ratchet or not. Because eventually I might bring this topic up again when I'm doing like a live stream. And what y'all put in the comments, you probably be mad at me. But I don't find it appealing. I don't know why it's happening. It's not, again, it's not sexy. It's not sexy at all. Quite frankly, it's not. It's just not. I don't know, but is it ratchet or not? People talk to me. Is it? Do you think it's ratchet? For those who do it, you don't think it's ratchet? You don't think for once, like and you make the noise along with it, like you spazzing out or something? Like, what the hell? Like, I've seen them, and I'm thought, like, I'm gonna bring this up to the family. I'm gonna have a talk with you guys and see what you think. Like, cause I don't get it, and I don't like it. Quite frankly, just my opinion. I don't see the appeal with it at all. You make the noise along with it, which makes it even more funny. So I don't, no, I don't understand that part. And I just don't get it. I mean, it'd be a nice picture and a nice looking woman, and like if you, especially on social media, like you just go, you slide, you think go by, and they smile, then they go, I got the tongue down. I'm like, really? Like, why? 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 Maybe because I'm getting older. Maybe in my youth, I probably no, I wouldn't know. No, I'm lying. I'm lying on myself. I wouldn't like it then, and because I damn sure wouldn't like it now. And I know the younger Kyle wouldn't like that shit. That's something younger Kyle and older Kyle probably have something in common. That I will know. That I would say, oh, back then I would no. That's something we can definitely agree upon. On younger Kyle wouldn't like it as much as older Kyle. Like, and you making a noise with it. Like, no. So, to you, I ask, Ratchet or not. For me, I say yes. 2 thumbs up. And if you can see my feet, put my feet up in the air. That shit is ratchet as hell. It ain't sexy. Don't like it. Don't care for it. Don't come to me with that shit because your value just already went down. Damn near diminished in one look. One thing, you can be fine as hell. I'm like, oh, no. I already know what comes behind the sound with the tongue flagging. I already know what comes with that. I already know what comes with it. I can see it. You might as well just tattoo it on your forehead. I'm sorry. That's just, like, at the end of the day, no way. But, like I said, you let me know in the comments of this show or whatever platform you're watching it. Just put in there, agree or disagree. Just let me know how you feel. Or, like I said, email me directly at whoiskylegraham at gmail.com. Let me know. You might say, hey, Kyle, you're wrong. I think you shouldn't say that. Whatever. Because everyone has an opinion. That's my opinion. I don't like that shit. I don't think it's sexy. I don't think it's cool. I don't, that's not for me. Maybe for you, some of y'all might like that ratchet shit. I don't. I know if I follows behind that tongue wagging, that noise, and I already know it's followed behind that. Don't need it. Dealt with it in my youth. Don't need it when I get older. No, not me. I don't care how fine you are. I just, nah. You just lost value. Anywho, moving on. Let's get into what's going on in the world of entertainment. This is interesting. M.I.A. booted from Kid Cudi tour after offensive remarks. M.I.A. has been removed from the opening slot of Kid Cudi's Rebel Ragers tour after being booed on stage in Dallas Saturday, May 2nd, which was last week, on her for her statements for immigrants. The artist, who is British and Sri Lankan descendant, at one point complained about being canceled for being a brown Republican voter, and then said she couldn't perform her song illegal because, quote, some of you could be in the audience. A torrent of boos followed, to which M.I.A. responded, all right, I'm illegal. Half of my team are not here because they didn't get the visas, okay? I want you to know that, all right, so don't listen to what the bots say on the internet, okay? Today, last week, Cudi took to Instagram stories to confirm that M.I.A. would not continue on the tour, which also features support from Outkast Big Boy and A-Track, and is scheduled to continue through June 27th in Cholula Vista, California. M.I.A. is no longer on this tour. He wrote, I told my management to send a notice to her team before we started tour that I didn't want anything offensive at my shows because I already knew what time it was, and I was assured things were understood. At the last couple of shows, I've been flooded with messages from fans that were upset by her rants. This to me is very disappointing, and I won't have someone on my tour making offensive remarks that upset my fan base. Thank you for understanding. The 50-year-old artist born, I'm gonna mess up her name, Mathengai Aruparazem, has courted controversy in recent years with her explicit support of the Grace broadcaster Alex Jones, and by creating a line of clothing and claims to block wireless broadband signals. Those products include such names as tinfoil hat, anti-facial recognition, baklava, and brain protection do-rag. Woo, wow. Okay. Wow, that went over my head on that one. my thing is this. At the end of the day, there's two things that's interesting about this. Everyone, I'm sorry, I'll shake my camera out. Everyone is allowed to have their opinion, obviously, and everyone has the right to speak their mind about whatever topic. But there's a place and time for all that. The concert, the stage for somebody else's tour is not the place for that. Now, you have your own show, then fine, you can do it. But if it's someone else's tour where there's like, I just want to perform and make everyone feel good for however long they're there, 2 hours to 3 hours, and forget what's going on in the world, that's their goal. And when you do have these type of conversations or rants, as they call them, it is going to cause controversy and so forth. But granted, everyone has the right to feel how they feel. And that's kind of like, again, this is going into what I said 2 shows ago, my pilot episode. I'm not a big political person, but it kind of bleeds into what I talk about, and it bleeds into entertainment. So you have the right to speak your mind. And people may like it, may not like it, but also there's a time and place for all that. And that wasn't the time or the place to do that. Maybe if she had her own little platform, maybe she had her own show, but if CUDI is like, look, I don't want any type of rants, I don't want nothing that's going on, let's just have fun, so people came for, then that's what it's all about. That's what it should be all about. So he has the right to let her know, especially if he said to her and her people's like, I don't want any type of rants, anything offensive. Let's just go out there, perform, and have a good time, give them their money's worth, and keep it moving. No one wants to show up to a concert, they hear a rant, whether it's offensive or not. They're there to be entertained, get their mind off their problems. There's enough going on in their world and then in the world itself for them to show up to be entertained and be reminded of what's going on. You want to be entertained. When I'm watching a show, or if I go to a show or something, I want to be entertained. I don't feel like hearing your opinion on this, or I want no woke. No, I want to laugh. I want to think. I want to cry, but be engrossed with the characters. You know, you want to drop a little message, that's whatever. Let's not overdo it. But they did not show up to hear you rant. And I'm not saying she's right or wrong. I'm just saying there's right time and place for it. And I think he's in his right, like, listen, you cause a controversy. I want you to smoothly, let's make money, let's entertain. And on your own time, on your own platform, you can say what you want to say. This is not the time, this is not the place. I don't need that type of attention. So I think he's right for doing that, and she's right for speaking her mind, but not there. Not there. I would never condemn someone who has an opinion to speak to them, whether you like it or not. It's just sometimes it's not the time and place for it. And I don't think there was a time and place for that. So he did the professional thing, like, yo, you have to step off. I asked you not to do this. You did a couple of shows. You're still doing it. Unfortunately, I have to remove you. The complaints are being too much, and it's something he had to do. And I get it. And sometimes you got to pull a boss move, and you have to make tough decisions. And if he allegedly gave her and her people's warnings about, excuse me, I'm moving the camera around, you see me shaking it, about going on political rants, then you should listen, and you should have followed up and whatever. Do your set and keep it moving, and on your own time, say what you got to say. Just not that time. So there's time and place for everything, in my opinion. I think it really is. Let's see what else I have. Speaking of tours, T.I. announces the King Secession Tour with King and Damani, and here's how you buy tickets. T.I. is taking his sons Damani and King on tour just in time for the release of the final album, Kill the King. Next month, T.I. will be unleashing the final album, Kill the King, upon the hip hop world. Overall, this is promised to be a true celebration of the legendary artist's career. Singles like "Let 'Em Know" have become viral sensations, and it feels as though T.I. is in the midst of a true renaissance. He wants to leave the game on a high note, and you can't help but appreciate that. Not at all. This past Tuesday, T.I. announced that he will be following up his album with the King Secession Tour. This will consist of a limited run of dates beginning in July and ending in August. The tour will take the artists all throughout the United States, and there are 40. Excuse me, 40. I went 30. I went 30 times up. There are 10 dates in total. What is truly special about the tour is that he will be taking his sons King and Damani with him. Hence the name, the King Succession Tour. So here are the 10 dates. I said 40. I don't know why I said 40. I'm giving them more dates because I'm sure a lot more people would like to see him. The King Succession Tour dates start July 8th and be in Phoenix. Then Dallas, Houston, Brooklyn, Washington, Charlotte, Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. So starting July 8th and ending August 15th. In those cities, you get to check out the King Succession Tour. So sorry for other people who are not in that area. Or in that actual city. If you're close to the area, just go check it out. I'm sure it's gonna be a good tour, and then probably some guest surprises. It's just the summer for tours. Summertime is great for tours, and you already got a lot of tours out there competing. I would not be surprised if he adds on another couple of shows. At the moment, you go through the summer. Maybe he might do a couple of shows here and there, but that's good. It's good to see him with his sons and kind of passing it down to him and ending on a high note. Like, I always think athletes and musicians, more, if you are done and you're not feeling no more, and you're like, this is my last, I'm going to step away. It might be forever, it might be a few years, who knows? And on a high note, if you like feel as though, all right, I got one more full album, and I'm going to move into something else. Then that's cool. I don't think there's an age limit on hip hop at all. It shouldn't be. It's art. But it's like an unwritten rule that you can't be past. No, man. Like, there's people that like art doing rock and R&B in the 50s and 60s. Like, why rap? Like, it shouldn't be. It's an art. Art should have no shackles, no limits, no nothing, none of that stuff. But if you feel that you're done, then step away. Like Andre 3000, like, I don't want to rap no more. I want to do something different. Playing the flute and been very successful at it. People get mad. In his mind, he feels I have nothing else to say, and I'm not going to force it out of me to appease everyone. And then it's not good. Then y'all come at me and be like, oh, he's garbage. He lost his whatever. Some people know when they know when they know when they know. You know what I mean? When it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't feel like doing it anymore. I see other ventures. They might revisit it. They might leave it alone. They might do a pickup game, so to speak, in hip hop, like do a verse or two. But for the most part, like, I'm done. Like Jay-Z, for the most part, hasn't dropped a full album in a while. He'll celebrate his last albums. He may pop up on somebody's album and do a verse. But do a full album, he might not feel like it. Might not, like he said, what more can I say? He said everything. Sometimes, as an artist, whether you're acting, writing, or whatever, as an athlete, you pull it all out there. You have nothing else to prove. Your body can't go anymore. Or you just like, I'm done. I just want to do something different. And again, you may come back and revisit it. Sometimes you don't. But kudos to him, man. He doing it with his sons. And I think it should be a good tour. I think it'll be dope. Because you, like, generations. And he's passing the baton to his boys. And that's dope. Just see father and son together. That's cool, man. So I wish them best of luck. And I'm sure the show's going to be dope, and we'll probably hear more about it throughout the summer. So between July 8th and August 15th. Yeah, that's where you can check out the King Succession Tour. It's a cool name. Definitely a cool name. Passing it down to the kids. All right, let's see what else I have. Let's see. Picking and choosing. There's a lot here that I want to get into. All right. Dave Chappelle roasts Kanye's money loss at comedy show. A source at the show tells the TMZ at the Comedy Store in West Hollywood, Kanye did not perform but did make a quick appearance at the very end of the night. Dave Chappelle gave the fans a wild surprise last Sunday, bringing Kanye up on stage during a packed comedy show. We're told Dave, because you can have like recorders in there, so people gotta verbally say it. Dave have already done a full set and was hosting. Phones were banned when he brought Ye out, telling the crowd Kanye West had lost more money than I've ever made. The crowd was in complete awe and were told cheering loudly as Kanye made his way up, even stopping to shake hands with fans near the stage. He got a full standing ovation as he joined Dave. Moments later, the two walked off stage together, still to roaring applause. The show's lineup was stacked. Shane Gillis, Chris Rock, and Louis C.K. Mike, your boy, was on the show. Were all part of the show, making it a heavyweight night. The comedy collab comes as the Netflix is a joke comedy festival takes over Los Angeles, bringing major comics into town and clearly a few surprise guests too. Kanye is no stranger to popping up at comedy shows. Back in December, he hit the Hollywood Improv with Bianca Cesare when Deion Cole pulled him on stage mid-show. Ye didn't perform then either, but he was enjoying himself, laughing along, getting love from both Dean and the crowd. A reminder that even when he's not on the mic, he still draws a major reaction. One thing's for sure, in LA doing Netflix a joke, literally anything is possible at even a homecoming by Ye featuring Chappelle. That's dope. You know what I mean? That's dope. And Dave is very particular, about not having cameras and all that stuff being on the show. He doesn't like it at all. That's not his thing. It's just one of those things where he just feels as though that he don't want it leaked. And there's nothing wrong with that. He has that right to feel that way. He doesn't want it leaked. He doesn't want people all in his business or anything like that. He just come and check it out. That's his rule. And some people is frustrated, but that's his rule. That's just something because people can bootleg his material and put out there, make money off of it. That's not what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking that's one of the main reasons why he does it that way, in my opinion. I think it's just he doesn't want people to do that. But nevertheless, it's dope to have Kanye West there. That's a heavy show. What a good show. Shane Gillis, Chris Rock, Louis C.K. You know what I mean? Kanye West. Louis C.K. and Kanye West, two of the most, these cats are so controversial. And I guess people are forgiving them. Kanye West with his rants and all that stuff, and with Donald Trump and Hitler and all, and Louis C.K. with the sexual exploits. And, hey, people be forgiven. And people deserve a second chance. They do. They deserve a second chance, whether you agree with it or not. And it appears Kanye can take a joke. And it's time I think, for Kanye to kind of change his image and shake it up a little bit. I think that's something that he needs to do, and try to get that back. A lot of people are not very forgiving for the things that he said, obviously, understand that. But at the end of the day, it's good to see him try, at least. He did with an apology, and for whatever reason, who knows, only he knows in his head why he did what he did or said what he said. But I think everyone, for the most part, give people a second chance. If a lot of people say in their religion, Christianity or whatever, that they believe in a higher power, but yet they don't want to give people a second chance. And I'm like, well, your higher power is all about peace and giving second chances and forgiving. So sometimes you might have to forgive people. And they will have to deal with internal punishment and so forth. I'm not trying to get religious, I'm just saying. But it's good to see that. I'm sure it was a dope-ass show. I'm sure they paid a lot of money for the headlining with Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and Shane Gillis and Louis C.K. I'm sure you paid a bundle for that shit. But it's worth the money because you never know who's going to pop up. Hence, Kanye West. Yay. All right, moving on. Let's see. Boom. Okay. I got something. And again, this is coming up. I didn't ask for this, but maybe since I mentioned the name, the algorithms are crazy. But Chris Brown Ever since I mentioned the tour and Chris Brown, I've been getting shit on my my timeline on excuse me, on social media. So Chris Brown's, I hate to turn baby mama, but mother's child, Diamond drags him into court over 4-year-old daughter days before Jada gave birth. Chris Brown was hauled into court for a paternity suit just days before he welcomed a new baby with his current girlfriend, Jada Wallace. According to the court docs, Diamond Brown filed suit on April 3rd over her 4-year-old daughter, Lovely Symphony Brown. I'll keep my comments to myself and continue to read. She says Brown acknowledged paternity in a voluntary declaration which she attached as an exhibit. Lovely was born on January 7th, 2022. She asked the court to award her legal and physical custody, but did propose that Chris has visitation. The paperwork noted that Lovely has lived with Diamond from birth to present in her LA home. Diamond asked that Chris be on the hook for her legal fees in the case. The legal action came weeks after Diamond trashed Chris on social media. She also claimed Chris had tried to scare her new boyfriend, despite already being in a relationship himself. Jada jumped to defend the singer and alleged that Diamond has not been allowing Chris to see their daughter. Quote, just a lame for running to the internet, Jada wrote, trying to air business out like you not the one that's stopping him from seeing his daughter. Diamond denied she had been keeping Lovely from Chris. She did admit to withholding their daughter once Chris, quote, spazzed, I'm not sure you're supposed to say that word anymore, spazzed on the parents of Lovely's friend. Later, Diamond appeared to insinuate that she would fight Jada once she gave birth. As previously been reported, Jada gave birth to Chris' latest child in late April. Wow. Now, a lot to unpack here. And number one, I'm going to start with this. Why? Why go to social media? What is the purpose of going to social media? I don't understand it. I don't agree with it. It doesn't make any sense. Why? Why go to social media? It doesn't make any sense at all going to social media and airing your business there. It just doesn't. Arguing with someone, it doesn't. You could maybe DM them, call them, but to have the whole world chime in and judge and see what's going on, I think it's wrong. I think it's not smart at all. What's your end game on doing that? Trying to embarrass that person? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't understand it. You haven't beef with someone over a whole, dispute over their child. It should be done privately. And you don't want, granted, like, Lovely's only 4 years old, but, you putting her out there, it's not cool. Do this privately. And Jada Wallace having Chris's, current baby a couple of weeks ago. It's just not a good look. There's better ways of dealing with the situation. In my opinion, I think it is. I don't think I take it to social media and threaten each other and doing all that stuff. That's corny. That's corny. Do it privately. Do it where there's no public eyes. Do it legally. You get lawyers involved. You shut your mouth, let the lawyers handle it, and whatever. If you are withholding rights from him, I think that's wrong. You ain't got to be together. Let him see his child. Let him see his daughter. Let him spend time with her. But I think it's just stupid when you argue in public through social media. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It incenses me when I read stuff and I see that they're like people are arguing, taking it in public. And I'm like, wow. And here I am talking about it because it's public, right? Because it's out there. Like, what the fuck? And it's intriguing, but it's just like, it's not just celebrities, but civilians alike that do the same thing. They quick to go tell the world what's going on. And then when the world responds to it and say something that don't agree with you, then you get mad. I don't understand that, quite frankly. I don't know. It just doesn't I'm not feeling it. I don't like when people do that. It's better ways of handling business, and social media is not the way to go. I think it's just not cool to. I'm a private person, so maybe I really kind of like look at people like, how can you something this private, celebrity or not, involve strangers? You know what I mean? And you threaten people, and you're threatening people on social media, like you insinuating, once you have that baby, we're gonna go at it. Like it's not worth it. You know, let the lawyers handle it, let them clear things up, and come up with a way that y'all can co-parent together without really beefing. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta be the best of friends, but at least co-parent, let him spend time with his daughter and keep it moving. He do his thing, you do your thing, and just keep it moving. Because overall, like I always said, there's his side, her side, somewhere in the middle is the truth. And it just so happened again, when I brought it up a couple of weeks ago about the massive tour coming, all this controversy is coming out with his name attached to it. It just so happened. I don't know if it's perfectly timed. I don't know, whatever, coincidental. I don't know. But I find it kind of weird that I brought it up. I said, hey, as long as there no distractions happening, it should be cool. Boom, 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 boom. All these distractions popping up in terms of Chris Brown. Now, in terms of his counterpart, Usher, Usher's doing something a little bit different. And something that is not controversial at all. It is actually kind of cool. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Usher launches the tour internship ahead of R&B tour with Chris Brown. So it states Usher has launched a new internship program in connection with his upcoming R&B Raymond and Brown tour with Chris Brown. The singer's nonprofit Usher New Look UNL partnered with the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Detroit to launch the Entertainment Industry Club Live Touring Edition, a workplace development program to help its participants build career pipelines in the world of touring. The initiative is being integrated into Usher's tour with Chris Brown this year. Will feature 10 interns from Detroit and Atlanta who are at least 18 years old. The participants will get hands-on training in aspects of touring, such as production, operations, and wardrobe. To prepare for their roles, interns will take part in a pre-tour training, so they're ready to go. So they're ready to go come showtime. Another aspect of the program is Spark Sessions, making of the tour, which gives the Boys and Girl Clubs youth across the country behind the scenes access to the forthcoming trek. Usher expressed the importance of the internship program in an official statement. Quote, at Usher's New Look, we always believe talent is everywhere, but access is not. Usher said, this program is opening doors and putting professionals in a position to learn, grow, and work inside the entertainment trades. Sean Wilson, president and CEO of Boys and Girls Club in Greater Detroit and co-founder of Usher's New Look nonprofit, also released a statement about the program. He says, the live touring industry is a multi-billion-dollar global business, yet access to the entertainment traders remain limited, he said. Together, we're changing that by placing young professionals on one of the most historic tours and turning access into real pathways to lasting careers. Applications for the internship are available until 11:30 p.m. May 9th, which is already passed. Which was yesterday. Interviews will be conducted from May 11th, which is tomorrow, through May 18th. And the actual internship kicks off with Actual internship kicks will occur from May 27th through August 10th. Visit Usher's New Look website to apply. The R&B Raymond and Brown tour kicks off June 26th in Denver, Colorado, and continues through the rest of the year when it wraps up in December 12th in Tampa, Florida. That's dope for Usher, man. Oh, excuse me, Usher. That's dope. Now listen, this needs more press right here. So while Usher is doing something for the youth, Chris Brown is in there fighting for the youth. You know what I'm saying? You get it? His daughter is young. He's trying to fight to see his daughter. You don't like that joke. Okay. But I wish they had this program when I was growing up. That is a great opportunity for the kids in the greater Detroit and Atlanta area to take advantage of. Like, go for it. You get to travel, you get to make connections, and when you're done with high school or even college, it's something you can get into. You can reach out to these people or have internships each summer for whatever. You never know. That is awesome. They've done it with the Boys and Girls Clubs, and it just opens the doors for a lot of kids in the area for a career. It's easy access. It's just smart. It's dope, and I commend them for doing that. That's a real good thing to do. Is to have that pathway for the kids to learn, and they get to see a great show. Probably meet some great people behind the scenes and so forth. That's really dope. So kudos to Ursher, man. He's doing this thing and staying out of court. Moving on. Let's see. I got a few more things here. Let me see. I like to. I got so much, y'all. I got so much. Okay, I got it right here. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, what the fuck, are expanding their gin and juice portfolio. Gin and juice has become much more than a song for Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. The latest collaboration between the newly minted billionaire producer and the rapper, TV personality, new Dre and Snoop's hard iced tea and lemonade canned cocktails have begun hitting shelves nationwide. The non-carbonated cocktails, 5.9 alcohol by volume, made with gin and juice, come in 8 packs of 12-ounce cans. Each 12-ounce cans, 2 cans each of iced tea, peached iced tea, and iced tea and lemonade and pink lemonade. The real iced tea has no involvement in these flavors. It's the latest expansion of the Duo Spirit line that includes gin and juice by Dre and Snoop, ready-to-drink cocktails. Flavors include honey apricot, citrus, melon, and passion fruit, and Still Gin by Dre and Snoop has ultra premium gin, both of which came to market in 2024. New tall boy versions of Dre and Snoop, hard peach iced tea, and hard pink lemonade, and gin and juice by Dre and Snoop, mango, 19.2 ounces each. Damn. All right. Also headed to market. Snoop has already established himself in other beverage categories, including THC and CBD drinks and wine. Quote, I put my name on a lot of things over the years. This is different. This is me and Dre's company. We built this, Snoop said in a statement to USA Today. Gin is a lane that doesn't really do well compared to vodka and tequila, so we saw an opportunity to come in and do it better than anybody else, he wrote. We chose a lane where we could stand out and build something that lasts. That's dope, man. Like, again, entrepreneurship. That's something I speak about in entertainment business or just in general. It's where different streams of revenue is what I always talk about. And that's a great different streams of revenue for both men. Because sometimes when in the music industry, period, or even acting, things dry up. And you need different streams of revenue. This is something different. He already has Dr. Bombay's ice cream and he's doing other stuff, and he's the spokesperson for Skechers and all types of stuff. So it's good to see men of color have their businesses in taking on the market and doing something there and showing that, hey, we're not just hip hop, we're not just producers, rappers, we're smart businessmen. And I appreciate that. I'm a little distracted because there's a Mr. Softy going by all loud, even though it's like raining. Like that little pedophile music out there riding by, I don't like that. It's just distracting. Anywho, I think, like I said, that Dre and Snoop are going to be successful with this. I got to try that too. I'm not a big gin person, but I do kind of want to try it. And they have a very good point. A lot of drinks that are out there driven by celebrities are tequila and vodka. It's not too many, if not at all, of gin. So it is kind of open market, and they can just kind of cater it and do their thing because they've been right about gin and juice since the '90s. And gin has a very specific taste, and a lot of people don't like gin. A lot of people just don't. They just don't fuck with her. And this way, they can get a nice little flavor of it and put their fingerprints on it and make it something. So I think it's gonna be dope. I think it's gonna be really cool. So check it out near a store near you, or corner store if you're in the hood. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. That guy right there, I know what I'm talking about. But it should be cool. But kudos to them, man. They're doing their thing, branching out and getting different streams of revenue. That is always key. That is always key, hands down. Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean set for Fuji's reunion at Global Citizen Live in Rio de Janeiro. Man, I love that place. The Fugees co-founders are reuniting for a 30th anniversary of their seminal album, The Score, on Saturday, June 6th, for a free ticketed event on Ipanema Beach. I've been there. That's a great beach. That's an awesome beach. That's an awesome beach. I had a quick flashback being being on that beach years ago. There's a real Fuji feel to the Global Citizens return to Brazil's next month as Lauryn Hill and Wyclef Jean lead the lineup for an exclusive concert. The Fugees co-founders are reuniting for the 30th anniversary of the hip hop outfit's seminal album, The Score, for a free ticketed event Saturday, June 6th at Ipanema Beach. The special show is the culmination of Global Citizens' first ever Rio Nature and Climate Week, hosted by, I'm gonna mess this name up, Instituto Natureza e Clima Brasil, the city of Rio de Janeiro, and Wild and Global Citizens. The Score arrived in February 1996, served as the Fugees' second and final album, powered by the standout tracks such as Ready or Not, Killing Me Softly, Fuji La, and No Woman, No Cry. The collection debuted atop the Billboard 200 and won Best Rap Album at the Grammy Awards in 1997. By October 97, the album was 6 times platinum certified by the RIAA. Quote, we can't think of a better way to celebrate 30 years of The Score than taking action to make the world a better place together with the beautiful people of Rio de Janeiro, my second home, explains Wyclef Jean, who also served as Global Citizen Ambassador. Third Fuji member, Praj Michel, won't be there, as it was broadcast on my show last month. He began a 14-year sentence tied to his April 2023 conviction on 10 accounts, including money laundering, conspiracy to defraud the U.S., witness tampering, and illegal foreign lobbying. Global Citizens Live Rio de Janeiro still will also feature YG Marley and Zion Marley, and is co-headlined by Latin Grammy Award-winning homegrown Ludmilla, who will perform cuts from her 2025 album. Bear with me because people might correct me. Fragmentos. It's very special to be part of the Global Citizens Live Rio in my city. Ludmilla said, "Music has this power to connect everyone, and this is a chance to use that to talk about what really matters, which is our world and the future of the next generation. I'm excited to bring the Brazilian energy to the stage and to the beach to celebrate and at the same time create a real impact." That is dope, man. That is really cool. Wish I could go. Love Brazil. I haven't been to Brazil in years. But that's to see them two together. Now, I wish it would be 3. And it's crazy. Like, they put this tour together. Praj just went to prison for 14 years. And he's probably like, damn, I should be in Brazil. See, shit like this it comes up where while you behind bars and strict rules for 14 years, your cohorts are living in it free and making money in beautiful Rio de Janeiro, bringing the hits to the fans. You know what I mean? And it's kind of bittersweet because he's not going to be there. And it's, at the time, even when he was free, it was rare that all three would come together. You get one out of the two, or two out of the three, or none. So to have all three would have been dope at that moment. Celebrating the Score, one of the best hip hop albums, period. Great song. It was just, And for this group, they only made 2 albums and left a legacy that's just crazy. Collectively and individually, mainly Wyclef and Lauryn Hill. Now, do they need prize? Certain verses, yeah. Otherwise than that, I would say no. I hate to say that. But the Score was just a classic album. It's just the essence of the 90s, man. We had great music. And that spans to this day. You still... 90s hip-hop, 90s music, period. With the hint of the early 2000s, probably the best era of music, hands down. And I say that, and I stand by it, is because you hear it today in commercials, movies and TV shows and TikTok and all that stuff. It just stands the test of time. The Score, Killing Me Softly, that rendition that Lauren did, and Roberta Flack originally did years ago, killed it. Music, it was just perfect. It was just that era. Sometimes, I always tell people when they want to remake something, a song, a movie, or a TV show from like the 90s, sometimes and they might have all the elements of the same people sitting around and all that stuff, but sometimes there's some things you can't recreate. You can't recreate the era. You can't recreate the era of the 90s. You can't do that. It's impossible. It's another character that you cannot recreate. You can do the clothes, you can do whatever, but the era, is that time and space where it's just, you cannot create it. It's just once in a lifetime. You gotta be. You should be there. You should have been there to enjoy it, but you can't recreate it. So I'm glad. I'm sure they'll have a great concert in Rio de Janeiro. I said great beach, great everything. Quite frankly, I'm gonna move on if I embarrass myself even more about Rio. Moving on. Yes, I will move on if I embarrass myself. Let's see. I got maybe 2-3 more things. All right. Tupac, All Eyes on Me, inducted into Grammy Hall of Fame as Idi Amin accept honors. More than 30 years ago, after his release, two iconic double albums, All Eyes on Me, has officially been inducted to the Grammy Hall of Fame as part of the Recording Academy's 2026 class. The late rapper's longtime collaborator and Outlaw's members Idi Amin accepted the honors on behalf of Tupac Shakur, his estate, friends, family, and fans during the ceremony. Thank you to the Recording Academy for this incredible honor. Idi said during the speech. I'm sure Tupac is smiling big, saying, "I told you I was a legend." Released in 1996, All Eyes on Me became one of the most defining albums in hip-hop's golden era, helping cement Tupac's legacy as one of the rap's most influential voices. The project debuted shortly after his release from prison and featured classics including California Love, How Do You Want It, two of America's Most Wanted, which is dope with Snoop Dogg. While reflecting on Tupac's impact, EDI described the rapper as much more than a musician. Quote, he was more than an artist, he said. He was a poet, a revolutionary spirit, one of the most fearless voices of his generation. He also emphasized the collaborative environment surrounding the album's creation during the Death Row Records era, shouting out producers, musicians, and contributors who helped shape the project. Everybody was pitching in to make sure this album was as crazy as it turned out to be, EDI said. Clearly, it stood the test of time. The Grammy Hall of Fame also highlighted the contributions, I'll get it out, y'all, of Daz Dillinger, who worked extensively on the album alongside the late producer Johnny J. Dash reacted to the honor to multiple Instagram posts thanking the Grammys and celebrating the lasting legacy of the project. Quote, I want to say thanks to the Grammy and Grammy Museum for inviting a real gangsta ass N-word. There's no need for him to say that. Like myself, he wrote while congratulating Tupac and acknowledging both Johnny J and the Dog Pound legacy connected to the album. The producer also reflected on the importance of staying focused despite industry politics. Quote, you can never rewrite history, that added to another post. Again, kudos to Tupac. Wish he was here, to receive his balloons in person. It's always too late for that. But they finally, his album finally got his balloons, got the recognition, and going to the Hall of Fame. And again, going way, 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 way too soon. And he is a legend. He's one of the greats, one of the best. And again, it's bittersweet because you want him to be here to see that. You wanted him to be on that stage and accept it and say thank you and keep it moving. Daz, come on, dude. Like, really, you have to drop the N-word? That wasn't even necessary. You just, for me, just ruined the whole thing. Like, was it necessary? Did you really have to put the N-word in there? Did you really? Was it necessary to show that, that you have to say it? Wouldn't it hurt you to say something a little bit more, I don't know, decent? I'm just saying, you ruined the whole thing. You realize N-word. Like, really? Like, no. Like, come on. That's some male Ratchet shit right there. That's some male Ratchet shit. Like, comes after that when he's something that he should say something classy, something whatever. He comes after that. You already know what comes after that. Like, yeah, I know what comes with it, and comes after that. I know what it is. But kudos to him also. But still, you don't have to say that. But All Eyes on Me is one of the best hip hop albums of all time, and definitely in '96, along with the score. Like, it was just that era. I'm telling you, dudes and dudettes, the '90s was some shit. Especially in '96, it was just album after album, like boom, 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 boom. It was just crazy. It was times where artists would drop 2 albums in 1 year. Like, it would. Like, it start off the year with it, or in the summertime, end the year with, I think DMX did that. You had time we had double CDs. Like, it was, you anticipated, you looked for it. Because there was no streaming services. All you had was the street team putting up posters. All you had was commercials telling you what albums were being dropped. You had the magazines, and you had Rap City and Yo TV Raps, telling you, this album coming out, because people would do the rounds and promote it, and you'll see the vibe each month. You see the source, and you're like, oh, they coming. That's how you found out. There was no internet. There was no tweeting and Xing and whatever you call that shit. It was just word of mouth and commercials. They just show mini, little quick mini movies or something when the album's coming out. It won't be like the 20-second one. Sometimes it'll be like 60-second, a little bit more. Again, yeah, street team. It's just dope, man. I every album, for the most part, that I have on these bookshelves. I remember how I found out, and it was either an interview or you're watching Yo MTV Raps, or more so Rap City, and the commercial you'll just see them. You just see them dropping you'll hear the music first, and you'll see do a collage or something. And come September of 1990 whatever, and that's how you found out that way. And of course now they don't do it anymore. And I haven't been hyped about an album in a while. Singles maybe, and it's easy to go Spotify, YouTube, and get them. Back then, man, you had to get the tape, the cassette tape. You had to get the DVD, the CD, and a lot of artists. Like Redman, first time I saw Redman was it a little mini movie, and that's how I got hooked. And the song was hardcore, and it was grainy, and it was whatever, and he's in the junkyard and he walking down the street in Newark and he mushes Hurricane G in the face. And I'm like, you can't do that. Oh my gosh. Can you do that? Yeah, that's kind of cool. He mushed her in the face. He knocked the camera guy down. That was dope. I remember Common's album, One Day It All Makes Sense, which is, again, they would just play the music and then tell you the album was dropping. And I remember hearing it, and the title alone, it got me because he played a snippet of the album, and I at the time in college I'm going through some shit, and not paying attention to the television. I think I was just daydreaming. You didn't have your phone to look at. You just kind of just television on. I'm just like going through whatever I'm going through at the age of 20, and you didn't hear Common's voice. And I like to welcome everybody to my new LP, One Day It All Makes Sense. I mean, I looked at the television, and it showed the album cover, and it's coming like August 1997 or whatever. And I was like, oh shit, the title alone hooked me, and then of course you get the videos or whatever. Tupac, the score with the Fugees and the Tribe Called Quest and the Wu-Tang. Again, their music is heard today in commercials and movies and TV shows. You know what I mean? Like it's staying power, and it's dope. And again, I wish the likes of Eazy-E, Big Pun, Biggie, Pac, and others were still here to get their balloons in person, because they left great work behind, fabulous work, and it would have been dope if they still around. Excuse me, around to get their balloons. You know what I mean? All right, moving on. What else do I have? I think all right, two more, and then I'll let you go. All right, let's go with your boy Nick Cannon swindled out of millions by a longtime money manager. It looks like Nick Cannon was being played by the very person hired to protect his assets. Federal prosecutors have officially indicted Frank Muskoski. Sorry if I butchered the name, but he's a criminal. A former accountant manager at Beverly Hills firm for allegedly treating Nick's hard-earned cash like a personal piggy bank. For nearly 20 years, Nick was a client at this firm, but the trust was shattered when Muskoski reportedly started siphoning funds. According to the feds, Muskoski used his position to get his hands on Nick's debit cards and pins. From late 2019 through 2023, he allegedly drained roughly $1.7 million just from ATM withdrawals. Good Lord! The spending spree didn't stop at the ATM. The indictment claims Muskoski dropped over $165,000 on Amazon, nearly $192,000 on private travel, and another $160,000 on random personal bills, all on Nick's dime. And in total, more than $2 million was snatched right under Nick's nose without him ever giving the green light. The firm eventually smelled the rat and fired Muskoski in July 23 after finding the missing millions, but the damage is done. On top of the S accounts of wire fraud, the feds tacked on 5 accounts of wire fraud. Sorry about that. The feds tacked on 3 counts of tax evasion because Muskoski allegedly tried to hide the $1.7 million in stolen income from the IRS. According to reports, Muskoski has fled the U.S. and is currently in the wind. Authorities think he dipped to Uganda, where he holds dual citizenship. If he ever sees inside of a courtroom and gets convicted, he's facing up to 20 years for each fraud charge. It's a cold lesson to why you have to keep a close eye on the people keeping your books. Look, man, it's a lot of shit I gotta ask. Number one, Number one is this: is yo, how did you not know? How did you not know that that this was happening? How do you not, you're not keeping tabs on your money? I don't care who the accountant is. You gotta keep this type of money. I don't care if it's $500, $5, 5 pennies. You keep your eye on your account. How do you not know that motherfuckers are going in and taking your cash out? See, if you wasn't too busy fucking making these goddamn babies and pay attention to your money, you be alright. That's your problem. Get your nose out the coos and put your money and put your nose in the books to find out what's going on with your money. That's like, I don't understand how did you not know? How do you not keep up with that? Even if you hire somebody, you gotta stay on top of them. You gotta look in the books. You gotta check your shit. How do you not? You wasn't reading statements. You wasn't reading statements. Like, I'm just lost. It incenses me so badly that you was not checking. That you were not checking the books. I don't understand that. How the fuck did he get away with all this? You were, that blame is on you. Mainly on you, because he noticed, like, well, he ain't paying attention. He got his nose in the coos. You know what I mean? Like, he's sniffing coos and making babies. He ain't paying attention. You know what I mean? I just tell him, hey, you doing good, boss? You doing good, boss? And then he like taking the money. Yeah, we got this. You're not paying attention. So he realized, you're not paying attention. He's not gonna notice. I'm gonna siphon off this shit. He's not gonna know. He's too busy chasing ass and making babies. That's what he messed up at. Cause I don't understand. You have to explain to me, how do you not know someone's taking money, that amount of money out of your account? That does not make any sense to me at all. It frustrates me. It makes me angry because I don't understand. Like, somebody needs to explain that shit to me. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, like, now you can't find this cat. The cat somewhere's hiding in the jungle of Uganda chilling. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't gonna find me. I'm deep in the jungle. I'm sure he ain't in no townhouse in Uganda or somewhere you can find him. And then, no, he's somewhere off the grid, got a nice little crib set up. You know what I mean? Like, you can't find him. But I got people watching out for him, paying him cash, because the money goes a long way. That's it. But I don't understand, how do you not know what's going on in your account at all? I always said, when I do make that type of money and I'm not successful, I'm like, it's a daily to weekly check of my money. I work too hard for that to be stolen and taken from me, because at the end of the day, you can't get that back. You can't. No matter how many years you give this cat for his doing it, you can't get that back. That could be going to your 25 babies. You know what I mean? Like, you have like 30 babies, and you need that money for your 40 babies. Like, I don't understand. You got 45 babies, and you need that money for your 50 babies. I just don't get it. So that's on you, Nick. That's on you. That's your fault. At the end, that's your fault. You got to keep your eye on your money. You have to. That's a learning lesson. Keep your nose out the coos, put your nose in your books, and keep up on your cash. You know what I mean? Then you can get that ass. See, it rhymes there. No? Okay, I tried. All right. Last but not least, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, production company, sued by narcotics officers over portrayal in Netflix thriller The Rip, which is a great movie, by the way. The Miami-Dade narcotics officers who seized $22 million stashed in orange buckets in 2016 are suing the production company of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck for defamation, saying that the Netflix police thriller The Rip, inspired by their high-profile bust, falsely portrayed them as corrupt. Filed Tuesday in Florida Federal District Court, the lawsuit names as defendant artist Equity, the production company founded by Damon and Affleck, as well as co-producers Falco Pictures, their one-off LLC for the project. Damon and Affleck were co-leads on The Rip, as well as co-producers. The plaintiff, Jason Smith and Jonathan Santana, are seeking unspecified damages for the defamation by implication, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. A spokesperson for Netflix, which is not named as a defendant, did not immediately respond to a request for comment this past Friday night. The police thriller was marketed as inspired by true events. The lawsuit says the movie borrowed heavily from a real June 29th, 2016 Miami-Dade narcotics investigation in which officers discovered nearly $22 million in cash hidden in orange buckets behind a false wall inside a Miami lake home. The plaintiffs say the film recreated several distinctive details from the case while falsely depicting officers involved as corrupt and criminal. Smith and Santana allege that anyone familiar with the case easily connected them to the fictional officers portrayed by Damon and Affleck. The lawsuit claims family members, colleagues, and other prosecutors questioned the officers after seeing the film or its trailer, asking which character they were and how many buckets they kept. The suit says the actual 2016 seizure, the largest cash seizure in Miami-Dade Police Department history, involved officers discovering 21,970,411 hidden in orange buckets concealed behind dry wall. The complaint states Santana was the lead detective on the case while Smith supervised the operation. Now, the officers say the rip added fabricated plot lines involving police corruption, theft schemes, cartel dealings, and murder. The complaint cites scenes in which officers discuss stealing seized money, lying to suspects, concealing evidence from supervisors, and communicating directly with the cartel members. The suit also alleges the film depicts officers tied to the seizures as being implicated in the murder of the fellow officer and later killing a DEA agent. Officers say they warned the filmmakers before and after the rip was released, sending a cease and desist letter in December 2025, objecting to the trailer and promotional material. The complaint further alleges that the Miami-Dade officers who consulted on the film later contacted the plaintiffs on behalf of director Joe Carnahan to apologize and offer consulting opportunities for future projects. Affleck and Damon founded Artist Equity in 2022 with financial backings from Redbird Capital. Affleck serves as chief executive officer, while Damon is chief creative officer. Excuse me. So Damon's chief creative officer. Affleck served as chief executive officer. Now, here's the thing, which is interesting about this, is that I don't know what was in the contract, but 9 times out of 10, they had creative freedom to, I don't know, Hollywood it up. This is what movies do. When they rip from the headlines or whatever the case may be, they like to Hollywood it up. They're not going to do it verbatim. They're going to have to make, because sometimes the real story is cut and dry and nothing in between. So sometimes you might have to add some filling to that. You know what I mean? You might have to add a little extra oomph to me an actual movie. In a cut and dry, like we found it, we turned it in. Well, that's not a movie. That's not a movie. That's it. So you might have to add some stuff, add a little extra cheese to the Whopper, so to speak. Add a little spice to the chicken. You know what I mean? So I'm sure they didn't do it to make them look like thieves, but to probably add something to the story. Because some stories are cut and dry. It's intriguing, but it's cut and dry. And it's like, all right, we went in, we found it, we seized it, and it's like maybe 1 or 2 pages. That's it. If you read an article or whatever it is, or the document. So you take the base of that and you create a fictional story around it. You know what I mean? Like it's based off of true stories, but then you kind of just mold and do something with the story. And that happens all the time. So I don't know what was discussed between officers, Miami-Dade County, and Affleck and Damon. But again, there's their side. The other side, somewhere in the middle, is the truth, where it has to be written down somewhere on paper. And it should be that you're not allowed to do this, this, and this. We're allowed X, Y, and Z. Now, it's easy to say they're looking for a quick cash grab, and possibly so. They could be. You know what I mean? Someone got in the air like, yo, they made y'all look like thieves, man. Y'all need to get on that. All that money they made, you need to get that. You need to sue them. They made y'all look like thieves and blah, 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 blah. But I don't think they intentionally wanted to. But I think, like, the spicing things up, it's Hollywood. They do it all the time. It's a lot of shit that's glorified in these movies. I'm sure the recent biopic of Michael Jackson, some shit was glorified. You know what I mean? Like, this is Hollywood. You're there to be entertained. And sometimes again, stories like that, there's not a lot to add to it. And all they did was probably just gloss it up and whatever the case may be. Who knows? But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is entertainment. So we'll find out what was written, if there was a contract dispute, if somebody break contract, break protocol, or whatever. But I think, to me, it's an easy cash grab. And it's like, oh, they made y'all look like fools. You need to sue them. All that money you making, yeah, they make look like y'all was thieves. And you get enough of that in your ear, and then you contact lawyers and all that stuff. So the key thing is, if they settle out of court. They settle out of court, it looks suspect, in my opinion. Like, they might just make this go away. You can look at it that way, but I look at it like, man, fight for your integrity. Fight for your reputation. Prove to them like they're wrong. Now, if they take it to court, then they're like, all right, no, man, you ain't going to disparage my good goddamn name in this business. So we'll see as time goes on what happens, if they're going to fight or if they're going to settle. And we'll see. We'll see from there. But The Rip is definitely a dope-ass movie. Go check it out. Just like I said, just look at it for what it is entertainment. A lot of stuff that's supposed to be based off of true stories, you got to take it with a grain of salt. A lot of that shit is... Hollywood glorifies it for whatever reason. You take it with a grain of salt, and I would say probably only 1% of that shit is real, and 99% of the rest of that is all Hollywood. You just gotta roll with it and enjoy it and take it for what it's worth. You know what I mean? All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the Who is Kyle Graham podcast. Remember, as always, you can catch me on any of these platforms. Press the subscribe button. Put comments in. Let everybody know in the algorithms. We'll put the comments. Everybody know in the comments and rise up in the algorithms. I get it right, y'all. I'm still a little rusty. And again, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and Who is Kyle Graham podcast.riverside.com. Press the subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. You get notifications for this show and others, and bonus shows, I should say, coming up, and other little surprises that I'm working on for the summertime. So just press the subscribe button. Let everybody know about Who is Kyle Graham. Easy to remember. You might not remember the actual name, but you remember the name, Kyle Graham. That is me. So as always, everyone, keep your head up. Stay positive. And again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and parents and guardians and even the fathers who playing the mother roles. That they don't get their balloons. Happy Mother's Day to them. Stay focused. Believe whatever higher power you believe in. Get through this week. And Lord willing, I will see you next week for another episode of Who is Kyle Graham podcast. Now I'm gonna try my audio now, see if it works with the clapping or the cheering. Looks like it is. So bear with me. I might do some editing. So who knows? So I'm become a bit of a editing. I'm gonna say idiot. Well, that too. Editing impresario. I'm not gonna say the word right or not. I'll be corrected. Somebody will tell me. But that's it, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Right here. Who is Kyle Graham podcast?